Do it.
Oh.
Well.
Hey.
Who are these
Good
guys?
to see you. What's up, guys? It's another episode of Origin PC Live. Are you ready? We're ready. Let's do it.
Woo.
Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 28 of Origin PC Live. My name is Alexis Roselle, community leader
The English today.
at Origin PC.
And I'm Erica Vallejo, the queen of Is It Friday Yet? And welcome to Origin PC Live.
I like that. I like that title.
You know.
Here's a quick recap for those new viewers of Origin PC Live. This is a little show that we here at Origin PC put on to talk about our passion for technology, video games, movies, and everything geek. Today we have a special guest. His name is Tobias Stolz Zwilling. I'll have to ask him for the proper pronunciation of that.
You butchered that.
From Warhorse Studios, the creators of Kingdom Come Deliverance, an epic game that I'll be talking about a ton later. We're going to be talking with Tobias later on in the show.
You can also interact with us by posting in chat or making comments. We'll be watching your feedback and responses as usual, so later on in the show, we'll be answering your questions and announcing the Poster of the Week winner.
All right, let's kick off the show, shall we?
Woo!
Our first story is about the upcoming Final Fantasy 15 for the PC.
Oh, yeah.
The team recently announced that the demo would be available next week and that a special Half-Life themed costume pack would be available for fans to download from the Steam Workshop until May 1st. Half-Life 3 confirmed? The pack includes Gordon's HEV suit, his glasses, and a crowbar. This content can be used in the single player as well as Final Fantasy 15's multiplayer expansion, where you can custom create a character to look like Gordon Freeman.
What?
In case you missed it, the PC version of Final Fantasy 15 launches soon on March 6th. What do you think about this Half-Life crossover, Erica?
It's everything that I've ever wanted and more.
I know.
I mean, hello. This is as close to Half-Life 3 as we're going to get. Let's all be reasonable about this.
Very true. That's
this is as close as we're going to get.
It's
so
never going to happen,
rad.
friends, but this is probably, I'm going to imagine myself like, oh man, they put chocobos in the new Half-Life. That's sweet.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
Summoning deities.
Oh look, Gordon's a mage. Oh.
I know. A white mage, black mage, who knows? We're going to have it all.
That's so rad, though.
It is cool. I wonder why. It seems like Square Enix has nothing to do with Half-Life. But they somehow got the Valve license, maybe? I think it's pretty cool. Either way, I'm excited about it. I love Gordon Freeman. He's one of my favorite characters.
I think it's going to be cool. I mean, obviously, Half-Life is, like, one of the most monumentous moments in any gamer's life, right?
Yeah.
Like, once you put that game in, like, it's over. Half-Life 3, again, like I said, like, this is as close as we're going to get. So I'm going to enjoy it. My little black mage is going to have the little glasses and the crowbar, and we're going to go mess some stuff up.
Did you play Final Fantasy 15 yet?
Mm-mm.
Neither
Not
have
yet.
I've held tight. I've been waiting for the PC version,
Quite
and it's
tight.
finally here. I did try it a little bit, but I didn't get too deeply involved. But I'm really excited for the PC version. And we might have some special stuff happening with them, friends, in the
rad.
future, so stay tuned to that.
Totally.
What's next in the news, Erica?
Ooh, so next in the news, several segments of the gaming industry are celebrating the Chinese New Year, the year of the dog, in different and adorable ways. You can find new Chinese New Year content in games such as Overwatch, World of Tanks, and Fortnite. Outside of games, Blizzard held a special stream called The Puppy Brawl, and it was the cutest little thing. It had puppies up for adoption dressed as Overwatch characters. Team Xbox also had a special video celebrating the Chinese New Year with Cospups, dressed in outfits from games such as Halo, Gears of War, Sea of Thieves, and PUBG. The dogs also had names such as Master Chihuahua, Mutkus Phoenix, Sea of Fleas, and Pug-G. Any thoughts on the dogs and the New Year celebrations? Because I think this is adorable.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with mixing video games and puppies.
So cute.
It has long been known that kittens and puppies do quite well on the internet, so this was a brilliant marketing idea. I think they knocked it out of the park, and it was pretty adorable to watch.
Send me all the dogs.
Exactly,
all
send
your
us all
dogs,
dogs.
please. Okay,
I think, they're always doing crazy things over at Blizzard and Microsoft, so it goes to show that...
Can we get an office dog for the Lunar?
That's actually a really good idea. I would love to set
one?
up a Pug
drive.
Origin PC themed.
Origin PC adoption drive.
Ooh. Now, what would be some puppy names that we would come up with to match our systems?
Oh, the Cryo Wawa.
I've got nothing. The Cryo Wawa.
The Cryo Wawa. That's it.
I like that. Husky PC?
Oh, do better. What's the next story?
I got nothing. Next in gaming news, actually, sorry, now for Origin PC news. Tom's Guide recently added our Origin PC Millennium on their best gaming desktop list. They called the Millennium the best high-end gaming PC, and here's what they had to say. Ooh. The latest Origin Millennium introduces slicker glass and aluminum design while retaining the beefy gaming power and plethora of customization options that make Origin's premium PC such a standout.
That's so nice.
This list includes our Origin PC Chronos, which is still the best living room gaming PC. We also got word this morning that our Evo 15S received an editor's choice from PCMag.com. Here's what they had to say. By and large, Origin's Evo 15S succeeds in its design goals. It looks good. It feels luxurious. Certainly does. And can play any game in HD near the highest settings. What do you think about the reviews and the award, Erica? It's pretty awesome.
First of all, I want to say congrats to you guys. Not only, the marketing team, but everybody else behind you guys. Well, yes, and myself,
You're also part of the company.
No, but yeah, congratulations to you guys. This is such a great achievement. I love seeing these all the time when we're like, look, Mom, in the papers. Like, I love that. And I think that that's super nice what they said. Because they totally, really cool. Could just shred us in an instant. But they're nice.
I gotta say that we have been slaying it in reviews this year.
You guys have.
Since the CES launch of our new case, even our laptops, our newest laptops, everything's been getting a ton of positive buzz, which is
that's awesome.
Phenomenal. That's what we want. We create these things, we put it out in the world, and we hope for the best. Mm-hmm. And so far, it's been fantastic. So thank you very much to PC Mag and Tom's Guide and all the other reviewers. There's been a ton. We've been posting a bunch on Twitter and Facebook today. So there's even more coming. I'm sure we'll have many more to talk about in the next show. So thank you again.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, man. So I think we are moving into our Geek News, am I correct?
Geek News, correct.
So kicking off our Geek News is a new project by Hasbro, which we haven't heard from a little bit. It launched this week, and it's called HasLab. It's a crowdfunding site for dream projects, basically aimed at collectors. It's kicking off the platform is Jabba the Hutt's barge. Yeah, that was really cool. The katana from Return of the Jedi. It's a 4-foot-long vehicle, and it features Jabba the Hutt, the figurine, so that's going to be super cool. I think that's sweet. You can open up the barge and actually place figurines inside the barge, so you can recreate scenes from the movie or just make your own. The price to back the project, it's a little steep. It's $499, and you'll get ongoing project updates of the project and also the production. What do you think about that? I mean, $499 is a steep price.
That is pretty pricey. But I think out of all the Star Wars characters, the most I can relate to is Jabba the Hutt, because I like lounging around and just sitting shirtless.
Fat. I was like, stop fat. I like
sitting
to
shirtless and just lounging like. Blah, 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 blah.
I see that.
But yeah, I think for me, I mean, I'm not really a collector, but I'm sure for collectors that price tag is.
I mean, they probably paid like way more for half of their replicas, but for the average consumer.
Now, did I see it in the picture? Was I mistaken that it comes like to paint?
Wait, what?
It looked like it was all white, right? Yes. Maybe? Let's see.
Maybe?
Let's see what Lewis
Producer?
has to say. That's a developer shot. Got it.
Oh, got it.
In development shot. That would be cool. If they released something like that you could paint yourself, it would be pretty neat.
Like a paint your own Jabba? Can I make my Jabba like sparkly?
If they did something like that and still charge $499, that'd be absolutely ridiculous. But if it comes already pre-painted, I mean, it's cool.
It's cool for the collection factor, I guess.
I just like the fact that Hasbro's doing this and these dream projects for collectors. I think it's pretty awesome. I'm sure the stuff they can come up with, like, give me a DeLorean from Back to the Future, then I'm all in.
Yeah, I'll pay $500 for that.
I don't know. If I can drive it around, maybe.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? Cool. Come on, man.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You gotta think of the future here. All right, our final Geek News story is about Black Panther. This movie is killing it, breaking all the records this past weekend. Black Panther had the biggest February opening weekend, the biggest solo superhero movie opening, the biggest opening for a movie by a black director, and biggest long holiday opening weekend, just to name a few of the records that it broke.
That makes me so happy.
The movie was also very close to dethroning the original Avengers movie opening weekend and had the 5th biggest opening weekend of all time, not adjusted for inflation. Did you see the movie, Erica, and what did you think about this record-busting blockbuster?
Oh, that was a good one.
I threw that in there.
Oh, I like that. That was saucy. So I have not seen the movie yet. I was sick opening weekend, so I wasn't able to go. But I will be seeing it this weekend, and I am just so excited.
Same.
Everything that I've heard from the bits of the trailers, the articles that I've read from film critics, the Rotten Tomatoes thing, it just sounds like it's a perfect film from beginning to end. The cast is amazing. I am so happy with the costume choices. The whole nine. I've done a lot of research into this movie. I'm like a really big fan of Chadwick Boseman, Lupita Nyong'o, which they are in the movie, and Wakanda Forever, man. Like, I'm just so
Wakanda
ready.
Forever.
I'm excited.
Yeah, the movie seems awesome. The trailers have been phenomenal. Everyone that I know that has seen the movie has said nothing but positive things about it, and the reviews have been spectacular. So it's pretty exciting. I also heard, if I'm not mistaken, I was watching something before the Olympics. I forgot what it was, but they were talking about the breaking of the records, and I think opening box office, it made enough to like the first Star Wars movie or something. Yeah, something like that.
The
something along those
equivalent,
lines.
I think. I think
it was the first event. Actually, no, it was Justice League that it beat out. Like the entire run of Justice League.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
They beat. I know. I read that the opening day or the opening weekend they got more grossing money than the entire time that Justice League was out.
I mean, I don't blame them. That was a waste of time.
Damn, DC, you got to step up your game, DC.
Yep.
For real. All right, up next, recent releases.
Special shout out to Blue Microphones for these incredible mics we're using on the show. Kicking off these recent releases is Metal Gear Survive on PC and other platforms. Take control of a surviving member from Big Boss's army in an alternate dimension where you fight against zombie-like creatures and search for gear and loot. This looks rad.
This was such a weird decision to put a zombie survival game into the Metal Gear world, but
Listen,
I guess
at this point we're merging all type of things.
It seems like they're running out of ideas.
They are, and I'm okay with that.
Also releasing this week is Age of Empires, the definitive edition on PC. You'll be able to play classic Age of Empires campaign with fully revamped graphics and animations. You can bet your bottom dollar that I'll be picking this one up. You can also play 8-player battles online along with custom maps. This was one of my favorite titles growing up.
Same.
And now that it's remastered and new graphics and all sorts of good stuff, I'm definitely going to be picking it up.
We're going to play this till like 6 in the morning,
very,
aren't
very
we?
cool. Oh, 100%.
Oh, man.
100%.
And finally, The Station is now available on PC and other platforms. Explore a space station that was in progress of studying an alien civilization while being undetected. Find out what happened to the inhabitants and their research. This is really rad.
Yeah,
I love alien
cool.
anything.
I mean, it looks a little dark and a little menacing for me, so that's already kind of
It's spoopy and I'm here for it.
I don't dig the spoopiness.
Do it.
All right.
It looks rad.
Moving on, let's go to Blatant Plug of the Week.
Ooh.
This is where we talk all things us.
Blatant
So
plug.
hang tight, buckle up. First up is our new monthly promo. This is the last week to take advantage of our monthly promotion for February. Show your love for gaming. You purchase any gaming desktop or gaming laptop and you receive a free external ADATA XPG 256GB SSD along with a plethora of digital games, including Shadow the Avatar for PC.
Ooh.
We've launched a giveaway. Oh, okay. Discord.gg/OriginPC. Friends, do you have Discord? Join our Discord channel. It is awesome. It is super active. There's a ton of people in there. We're going to start doing exclusive things to our Discord channel. We just need more people in there for me to be able to justify this. But pile in. We chat about technology. We chat about video games. We have an art channel now where people are posting up their specific art, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I have to peek
We have
it.
a music channel where you post your music that you enjoy. Links are in chat right now.
Tag me in
so
all the dog memes.
Join us up. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, tag us in dog memes.
Please.
Whatever you want. It's gonna be a blast.
At Bamboozle, do it.
Another worldwide giveaway has launched. As you saw, we built Lyric's new streaming PC not too long ago, so he's going to give away his old one to one lucky fan. He said he'd sign it. He said he'd kiss it.
What?
He said he'd hug it.
Oh,
Whatever
man.
you wanted to do, it is yours. This is a streaming PC, so it is purely for encoding. It just comes with a capture card. If you're like not interested in it and you were lucky enough to win this, you can give us a call and say, hey, Origin PC, I want to convert this to a gaming PC. How much is a graphics card from you? And we'll be more than happy to put that in for you and hook you up. Or if you have your own graphics card, you can install it yourself at home and we'll walk you through the process to turn this into a gaming PC.
Easy peasy.
But if you are a streamer, and who isn't nowadays, I think everyone's streaming, you will finally have a 2-PC setup that you've been clamoring for. Up your stream quality with this awesome streaming PC that comes with an Elgato HD 60 Pro.
So nice.
Good luck to each and every one of you guys. That's pretty exciting.
That's really cool. So now, you guys, it's that time for Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat. So now it's time to talk about Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat, and this is where we talk about games we're playing. This segment is sponsored by the Origin PC Gear Shop, where you can buy your own Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat t-shirt.
Look as good as this guy.
Or one of these.
No, not those. Those are exclusive.
Oh, no. Or one of these.
One of these?
One of these. So, Alexis, what are you Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeating, my friend?
Well, just it happens to be, I'm playing a little game called A Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Ooh, plug.
I am enjoying this game so much that I had to reach out to them and let them know how much I'm enjoying them and ask him to come on the show. So luckily we have one of them here today.
You're such a dork.
This game is such a blast. This game is such a blast. I love. It's like
he's been talking about it nonstop.
The way they describe it is dungeons without the dragons, which is perfect sense. It's like Skyrim without the magic, without all the monster stuff. It's a historically accurate medieval RPG, and it is phenomenal. They've knocked it out of the park. The story had me hooked from the start. The graphics are beautiful. The world is so well done. They really nailed the real life versions compared to which we'll talk about later on in the interview. But they did such a great job on the world, recreating this world, and the story. The story just has me so hooked. I'm so excited to see what happens to our protagonist next. Man,
he's so jazzed. You guys have no idea. Like
he's an everyman. He's just a blacksmith's son who comes into trouble and now has to.
Back in medieval times.
I relate so much to Henry.
You're Henry.
I feel like I am. I can't wait to see where he goes. I highly recommend you guys try the game. It's really, really good. Erica, what have you been playing?
Oh, you know what I haven't been shutting up about for the past month and a half. Yeah. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch. This game, you guys, is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. From beginning to end, it's just a gorgeous game. The gameplay, the fighting, the adventuring, the puzzle solving, it's just so good. My only gripe is the voice acting. That's the only, little myth I have with this. But other than that, it's really great. You play a guy named Rex. You're basically lost in a sea of clouds. You have entire civilizations that rest on the back of titans, and you're a scavenger. So you're basically going throughout the entire world trying to take them to what's called the World Tree to save humanity. And it's rad.
Now, you think I've been talking a lot about Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Don't put me on the spot.
Has not shut up about this game. Non-stop. No matter the time or day, you can say, hey, Erica, what are you up to?
Playing Xenoblade Chronicles. You want to go out to breakfast? I'm playing Xenoblade Chronicles.
Can I bring my Switch with me? You can. Mm-hmm. You can bring it with you.
And I do.
Yeah. It seems pretty rad. You actually have talked me into probably giving it a go.
It's rad. If you guys have a Switch, just invest. I bought the expansion pass and everything because I'm that invested.
Do it. It's good. All right, up next we got Check This Out. Big thank you to Elgato for providing the Stream Deck and the capture card in our streaming PC. And Check This Out, we'll be talking about everything we've been checking out. This includes movies, TVs, text, gadgets, apps, software, etc. Erica, what have you been checking out?
Oh, no big deal. Just a little show called Final Space on TBS.
Ooh.
Yes.
Tell me more.
This one is intriguing because this is a mix of Rick and Morty and
Really?
I want to say like American Dad, Family Guy type of deal.
Oh, I'm in already.
Yeah, it's
Sold.
really funny. You basically watch the astronaut named Gary, which is the blonde guy there that you see, and his planet-destroying sidekick called Mooncake. So they embark on a serialized journey through space in order to unlock the mystery of where the universe actually ends and if it actually does exist. And it's funny, and Mooncake is adorable.
I'm going to have to check it out.
2 thumbs up for this one. So if you guys
Is it on demand already?
The first episode, this
Nice.
just came out, so
sweet.
the special's like an hour or two long, but they're 30-minute episodes each. Which
Nice.
Is pretty cool.
I'll be checking that out.
It's rad.
So what I've been checking out is,
Tell me.
I'm sure you've seen it all over the interwebs lately,
is that what
Vero,
I
the
think
new
it is?
True Social
Yeah.
app. Yeah. So this is a new app that just came out. Kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really see it coming at all.
No.
But I saw a lot of people posting about it, so I went to check it out, learned a little bit more about it. It's actually pretty cool. It's a mix of, like, I'd say Instagram, where you can just post pictures, but you can also post what music you're listening to, what movie or TV show you're watching, and it's got cool
What I
graphics
thought it was
for everything.
more like, it's like if Tumblr and Instagram had a baby. And
Could
then
be.
it's Vero.
Could be. So
It's
what's
rad. I
really
signed up
interesting
last
about this is that there's no algorithms to it. There's no
yes.
ads on it. So what this means is, like, no matter it works like a true social app where someone posts something and you're gonna see it right then and there. It's not gonna tweak the posts that appear to you based on your likes and interests or how much that person paid to get their post up on the screen
Yeah.
before everyone else's. It comes out in order and depending on what you want, which I think is super intriguing.
And it's so intuitive.
Yeah,
It's beautiful,
very, very
by
cool.
the way.
The app itself is super
Beautiful.
smooth and nice. Apparently, I read today that it's free for the first 1 million users.
Oh, I got in
so
on time.
I don't know what their plans are after the first 1 million users, or if they've even gotten there.
I think I read what
Maybe
you
they're
read.
going to charge
They
for
are.
the app.
They are.
That would
It's
make
about
sense.
$10 to $15, I think,
Ooh.
annually. But that's like a
Annually?
cup of coffee. You know
Oh,
what
yeah,
I
that's
mean?
not
Like
too
a couple cups of coffee, depending on where you go.
That's not too bad, but it's a really, really cool app. Check it out, especially right now while it's free. It's in the beta phase.
And connect with us.
Yeah, connect with us.
And
I'm
Origin
Koozie on
PC.
there. She's Bamboozle. And we got Origin PC as well is on Vero as of today. So make sure to
Yeah.
follow Origin PC on another new social platform. You can do that right now. It's a pretty cool app, though. Check it out, for real, friends.
Yeah, do it. It's really cool.
Now it's time for a short break. After the break, we're going to have Tobias from Warhorse Studios, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So
It's
stick
gonna be
around.
rad.
We just got a little bit of commercials, and we'll see you guys in a bit.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. The service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Accept your new name and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Welcome back, and shout out to Intel for providing our streaming rig. It's time to chat with Tobias. Tobias is the PR manager at Warhorse Studios, who have recently launched Kingdom Come Deliverance on PC and other platforms to high praise from fans and press and me. Tobias joined Warhorse Studios in June 2014 after the successful Kickstarter campaign that raised $1.5 million. He has been working with the team and on the game for close to 4 years now. Tobias is the voice, and some even say the beard, of the studio by presenting the game around the world. You can find Kingdom Come Deliverance on Steam, consoles, and social media. Tobias, how are you doing this Friday? Thank you so much for joining us.
Wow, this sounded actually very, very nice. Thank you for this nice introduction.
You're very welcome.
I feel, well, I'm close to dying. I got the man flu, so it's really, really terrible. But yeah, despite that, of course, with the release, a lot of nerves that were, let's say, in danger before the release are kind of still in danger. Well, it works somehow, but yeah, we are very happy that everything is over, if you can say it like this, but pretty much just started. So
right.
yeah,
well, it's fantastic, man. Congratulations again. I know how tough it must be, just the anticipation of working on something for so long and then finally putting it out there. It must be insane. So I'm really happy for you guys.
Totally crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Because people were saying, or we knew actually that Kingdom Come is a different game, so someone can say that it was a risky approach, doing something like without the magic, without the dragons, without those established RPG helping wheels. So we were working on it pretty much 4 years straight. I was presenting it from the very first day. I wasn't there at Kickstarter. I joined after the Kickstarter Success, but from June 2014 pretty much I was showing every bits and pieces, and that's eventually a little bit the downside of Kickstarter and crowdfunding, because we always super proud, always showed this is the new, I don't know, facial experiment we are doing, and people this looks crap. It's but it's the first try, and it will look so great in 4 years, but we are right now here, and now we have to get there somewhere.
Oh, you guys will do it, though.
Man. Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
Look at the success so far. That's awesome, man. So cool.
Thank you very much. We were hoping for that, so for us it was of course a huge surprise that it went so good.
Oh, you definitely succeeded. Tobias, once again, thank you so much for being with us. How do you and the team feel after seeing your success launching Kingdom Come Deliverance? What do you guys think about moving forward? Do you think the success is going to continue? Well, obviously you're going to hope for the success to continue, but do you guys see yourselves, just blossoming into this mega AAA title out of nowhere?
Success is a very relative term, and I think that's extremely important to understand that.
Agreed.
We don't feel like we have a super great mega achievement. What I mean is that if you consider that small games that, I don't know, 3 guys did in a basement, and then they sell 5 million copies on Steam for $5 each. Right. This is a huge. This is like Ferrari for everyone, right? Of course, our production was expensive, not as expensive like the typical size or typical comparable games, but still. It's not that all of a sudden we are all super rich and now we will open new studios in USA and Asia and whatsoever, and definitely not Ferrari for everyone's. Maybe a week vacation for everyone. But
definitely well deserved.
How do you feel? When we were releasing the game, we had the night before we had our release party, of course, but the day after, on release day, most of the studio members were standing in the studio, even with a small headache, and they were waiting for the first reviews. They were waiting for the first tweets, for the first Facebook posts, and so on. It's really, you need to understand that at Warhorse Studios, we are right now 120 people, and from those 120, maybe 20 ever did a video game before. So for the other 100, most of them for example, directly came from university, so most of them are, of course, young guns. For most of them, it's the first game. For most of them, it's the first job ever. So whenever I'm
amazing.
talking with you guys or going to an event or something, I get constantly Skype, Twitter, whatever messages like, what do they say? Did they like it? Did they see this little feature I put there? Did anyone find the Easter egg I put inside? And say, yeah, well, they like it. Don't worry, it will be good. It will be good.
Well, you can
So,
definitely tell them we like it. That's for sure.
So how do we feel? We feel relieved that it's out because there was crunch time and it deadlines and so on, and it was like for us it's a huge milestone. But no one took off. There's no one has vacation right now. Right now we're working on bug fixes because of course it requires a little bit more love. It's a huge RPG, so well, things happen. So it was one day was like party, we released the game, and the next day was back to work.
Yeah, man,
Understandable.
that's awesome.
But I mean, that shows dedication. You want to make the game perfect, and it's definitely, I mean, I'm already in love, but of course,
He hasn't
with
stopped
anything,
talking about
I
it.
really haven't stopped talking about it. It's so good. So Kingdom Come Deliverance was a Kickstarter success. Even though you joined the team after the campaign, could you tell us how it was like joining the team coming from a campaign that was that big?
Of course, I will roll back a little bit further, if I may.
Sure.
So Warhorse Studios was founded in 2011, so this is like a super long time back. It's like really long. And if you remember that Kickstarter was in 2014, you wonder what we did in those 3 years. And actually, in the beginning, it was 2 guys drinking in a pub saying, how about we make this realistic kind of game? Yeah. So the game was actually created, or the idea was created before they founded the studio. So it was 2 guys who had some jobs, who had to quit first, who had to create a new job, a new company, who had to get new developer, of course, which how do you sell idea that is non-profitable yet to guys who are somewhere in a job, and you need to tell them, let's do something crazy with your family and with your children, don't worry, we will pay you in 7 years or so. And so this was task 1, and then of course the idea was this is pretty much the game we released right now, but it was a struggle to get an investor or a publisher, so we were bankrupt almost 3 times or so. It was really on the edge of let's just wrap it and fail. So in the end it was like really 5 minutes before 12, it was like really close to that's it. And we found an investor. He said, okay, let's do it, but he needs some kind of business case that people actually want this kind of game. But because again, publisher said, nice idea, but those PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, they will not be successful, and rather do Facebook games. They are cool right now.
Right.
Because everyone wants you to do something or copy something. So now that Battle Royale games are cool, I bet in the next months there will be many more games which try to copy the same thing instead of trying something new. So that was that. So we did the Kickstarter, and it was for us really sink or swim. So we swam in the end after we wanted some, like as you said, we wanted 300,000 British pounds. After 2 days we had them, and then in the end we got 1.1 million. So this was
Incredible.
that was a huge thing. However, Kickstarter, as it says, is just a Kickstarter. So of course it was just a small amount of what is necessary for this kind of game. The investor jumped in, and from that day in 2014, the real development started, because before was just prototyping, vertical slices, and so on, trying to pitch it to investors and so on. And 2014 was when it started, and round about 15 people, 20 people created the Kickstarter project and did the entire month and the preparation and everything. And after the Kickstarter success, they started to hire people like me. But the problem was that they were in an office created for 20 guys, and we were already almost 40. So the first day I came to the studio, they said, yeah, well, here I actually applied as a community manager. And they said, yeah, cool. And do you mind working from home? Do you have a PC at home? I said, what's happening? Yeah, well, we can't put you anywhere, so a home office. So my first month at Warhorse Studios was home office, which is weird because you are should do some communications, and you sit at home and say, so what is this game about actually? So you're just reading stuff and trying to get acquainted with everything. But after the Kickstarter, or with the Kickstarter, like how even the uncle of Spider-Man knew it, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
You have to, of course, deliver something, or at least be open with your communication, and that's what we tried from day one, pretty much. So the moment, like before Kickstarter, of course, while Kickstarter as well, but the moment the Kickstarter went well, the project went well, we tried to talk a lot about what we are doing, who's working on what. We are now moving. These are the new developers. This is your new community manager. That was me back then. Then we started with dev diaries and so on. As I said, now we have, for the first time, we implemented the combat. And what do you think? And it's like, oh, it looks not so good. It's like, yeah, well, it's the first try and so on. Then we bought a motion capture studio. We hired even more people in October 2014, which is like 5, 6, 7 months after the release. After the Kickstarter project, we released the very first alpha version, which was really just for the backers, and it was just to show them which way we are going. And as typically in Warhorse Studios, in the very first alpha, all the characters were flying around, and it was like really, really strange. This was like really one village, but we said no magic, no dragons, but then there were flying people, and really, really weird. Then we released another 4 alpha, so we kept updating it and always added new stuff. In March, then for the first time, we released the beta version, which was like a sixth of the game, pretty much, with a long quest line. And that's when because even while Kickstarter and in between Kickstarter and the beta, we tried to gather a lot of community feedback and ask them, what do you like, what do you think, what should we add and what not. And in the beta, we added a questionnaire, actually, and we had, I guess, 30,000 people who were playing the beta, and 8,000 of them filled the quiz. Then it was very poorly optimized, again, as usually at Warhorse Studios. But we tried our best, of course. And then we did the questionnaire, like 8,000 people or so were answering stuff, which is like a huge amount for those who like statistics. And because we didn't knew, again, it's what I said in the beginning, it's a risky thing, kind of. It's a lot of talking. You're not the superhero. You're not, when you grab the sword for the first time and run away from your burned village, then there are already opponents, but they will like beat you to hell pretty much, and you have pretty much no chance. And that's something the player needs to learn and understand, that you are playing as Henry, and Henry never ever hold a sword in his hands, or just rarely. And you need to learn, or like rise with him, pretty much. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
what we tried to ask in the beta, if this is not too much talking. Well, and now we are 120 people roundabout, and those released the game. So within 4 years, we tripled the amount of Warhorsians.
I like it.
So, Tobias, could you tell us some of the challenges of bringing the world basically to life? What challenges did you guys face?
You know what's funny? Always when you think that this was like the worst challenge or the biggest obstacle you had, and there's nothing that can be worse than that, then the next day something comes twice as big, and then you start at the beginning. When you have a fantasy game, you have the big advantage that you can theoretically, it's not like always like that, but theoretically you can start with the plot first. You write whatever you want to have in the game, then you create the world according to your needs, add whatever you need to make it fit into the game, and then in the end you have some kind of game, whatever you like. We tried another approach, which is a little bit more tricky. Maybe fantasy writers will argue with that, but we felt that it was very tricky, that we bought a satellite height map of the area where the game takes place. So we have a relocation with all the mountains and valleys and river streams and so on. So we have a given set. We have a full-time historian in our team to make sure that the plot or the quests the designers are writing are at least believable. So of course there's a lot of stuff we came up with, not completely crazy stuff, but we have to put a plot inside a medieval setting. kind of. And then you have castles, churches, villages, and stuff that are still existing today. We went there, we took pictures, we tried to transfer them into the game, and those have limitations. So the castle, for example, is not the Cinderella castle with 15 towers, but it's just a small fortification with 1 tower or so, which eventually can disappoint someone when he says, "Oh, that's what happens sometimes when I took journalists and told them let's take a look at the real sites of Kingdom Come, and then I took them there and they're like, where's the castle? And I said, yeah, well, this is a castle. Welcome to reality. So the problem as well was getting everything together. I mean, you have those different departments and those different people who are working on something, no matter if code, animations, graphics, and so on. And in the end, in the last part, before the testers, of course, are the scripters. And the scripters have to put everything together, all the assets, all the quest mechanics, all the RPG elements, and so on. And when you put all those things together, you all of a sudden see that eventually things which look good on paper suddenly don't work in the game because they're colliding with other elements and stuff. So it's hard to say what was the biggest challenge, right? For us, what's the most important for us, and the thing we are most proud of, I would say, is that we were able to deliver a game we imagined while doing the Kickstarter presentation. So the thing we pitched back then, we think that we delivered 99% of it.
That's amazing.
Of course, some things are eventually missing, but some other things were added, and so on. But the vision keeps is still the same, despite the fact that people were saying that this is not good and change this or that. We stayed true to ourselves, and so far so good, I would say.
Definitely.
I actually had just one more question for you, Tobias. What made you guys do that decision to stay historically factual versus going the alternative route of doing the fantasy, the dragons, the magic, what a consumer nowadays is used to? What was that decision like, and why did you guys do that?
Well, it has several different answers. The easiest of them is no one did it before, so it's a commercial gap. No one tried it before. There's no other game like that. Of course, you can compare it to types like, I don't know, Skyrim or so, but still there's no RPG out there that tries to be authentic. So that's the easiest answer. Another answer is that we use pop culture to deliver some eventually forgotten things. What I mean is that right now, and back then it was not the same, of course, but right now Game of Thrones is super popular. Vikings are or were popular. History novels are and were popular. So, but no one tried to create an RPG or a real game about that. There are, of course, like strategy games or so where you can have, I don't know, tanks or Age of Empires. You were talking about it earlier. So yeah, that's something, but no one tried it in an RPG, so we said, let's do this challenge, because the medieval ages are a typical element in most RPGs, no matter if Elix, for example, which is sci-fi pretty much, and you still have sword and shield kind of. So this is a typical thing, but no one tried to depict the medieval age as they were. So of course we also don't say, and that's also very important to understand, we don't say that we are doing a medieval simulation. This is not a mirror of how it 100% was. This is our interpretation of facts we gathered and with things we found out with the help of historians. We are not history pros, so of course we need help from outside. And we use, as I said in the beginning, we use this pop culture video game to tell the story of our ancestors. So it's based in Czech Republic, or today's Czech Republic. Back then it was Bohemia, the Kingdom of Bohemia, and the Kingdom of Bohemia was by that time one of, or maybe the most important country in the Holy Roman Empire, which is in that time, 1403 and so on, a huge empire in Central Europe, which has today's Czech Republic, Italy, Germany, and so on, like a huge thing. and Bohemia. It was ruled from Bohemia, and we are slightly talking about this. And no one did it before, so we said, why not trying this? Again, it comes with obstacles, of course. Because when you do this, you want to keep it real in most of the elements, at least. So for the combat, for example, we invited real sword fighters to the studio. They showed us how the 15th century sword fighters fought. We told them why this is not possible, and together we created some kind of a compromise, because they told us the fighter wants to be unpredictable and doesn't want to show you like what he's doing, and stabs you and then wants to continue because he doesn't want to have a long fight with you.
Right.
But for the video game, we need those this huge movements, so the player actually sees what's happening and he can react to the stuff. So so Kingdom Come is full of compromises here and there, but I still believe, I strongly believe that this is the closest you can get, in a video game at least, if you want to see the 15th century.
That's amazing.
And I completely agree. I mean, that's one of the things that stood out for me, and one of the reasons I wanted to play. I love the medieval time period, and playing something this unique and kind of in that realistic setting was just, it's kind of what hooked me in, and that's why I followed the game for so long.
I'm hooked in now. Like, the more you talk, Tobias, the more I want to buy the game. Like, just keep it coming, man.
So
that's actually, when you have real historians and so on, or like pros, and because we got and get contacted by a lot of people who are not gamers actually. So we released the game now. While we were developing it, there were the sword fighters, there were medieval bands who were contacted us. There was a furniture, because today's Czech Republic still has a very they are very bond to the Middle Ages still. So there's still a lot of castles here, and they love the period. And I live in Prague. The studio is based in Prague, and when you look outside my window, you see like 14th century houses everywhere. It's like really cool.
We're gonna have to visit Tobias soon.
Yeah, do it. I highly recommend. It's a beautiful city, and it's funny that so many people who were not playing games eventually were contacting us like, yeah, we heard you do this game. I'm actually doing medieval furnishing, and I would like to help you because people are getting it wrong all the time, and I want to show you how that there were no bands, for example, in the Middle Ages, or only for royalty and so on. So is that okay? Let's do it. Come to the studio. Awesome. And now we released the game, and the day before yesterday there was a guy calling. I don't know how this word is called in English, but there was a guy calling the studio that he desperately needs to talk with us, because he's a pro for medieval housing, like the whitening from the outside. I don't know how this is called, like the thing we have here at the white walls here, this thing you put on the stones. So they put something like this on castles and buildings as well back then. Not the same material, of course, but something like this. And he was calling and said, you guys, you get it completely wrong. This is like absolutely not possible, and we need to talk. That's like, no. I was like,
he was like offended about this.
Well, come to the studio, let's talk about it. I mean, and that's also, I mean, again, we are not doing a medieval simulation. We tried the best we can. We've tried to talk to as many historians, and not only historians, but like pros or advisors, that's maybe the best word, as possible. And together and with the help of the community as well, because it's funny that there are so many history buffs and LARPists and so on out there. And together, I think we created a pretty fine medieval game.
I agree. Came out really cool. So this is one of the coolest parts for me. In KCD, you play the son of a blacksmith, who, unlike other heroes in other RPGs, is not the chosen one. He's not the legendary hero. To me, right immediately playing with him, I was able to relate to his character so much. Like, I just felt like, oh man, this is like a true underdog story. It's really cool. So what was
because in the first 5 hours he gets beaten up every time.
I know.
From everyone.
What was the reasoning behind making this just an everyday guy?
It's because we want to emphasize the role-playing aspect. I know this sounds super cheesy PR-ish, but it's actually what we really tried. So Henry is a no one, and again, we want to make it realistic, or at least believable. So we said, okay, Henry is like this foolish guy from the village XYZ, and he's of course he's not a fighter, he's not a bow shooter, he's just a typical guy who throws manure at someone's house. So So we emphasize the role-playing aspect a lot. What I mean with this is that, and that's what I tried to say earlier, that when you get the sword in your hand for the first time, you can do all the slashes and stabs, but you are very weak when it comes to fighting. So what you have to do is training there a lot. Like you have to train, become a better sword fighter, really go to the archery range to become a better bow shooter, and so on. And one journalist was saying it, and this was actually pretty interesting. He was saying that the most fascinating thing on Henry is that he's so unfascinating.
Yeah.
And
cool.
this is so different to what the people are usually used to.
Right.
So some people were contacting us saying, "Oh, this combat is so brutally hard, it's impossible." And then we try to tell them, "Yeah, but you are in the first section where you have to run away from burnt village. There's a trained army attacking you, and some people are running behind you. What do you expect when 5 people are running behind you?" It's yeah, but I want to slice through them all. But then, fighting is a huge thing in Kingdom Come, and it's a huge... my absolute favorite in the game is the fighting system, but it's not a Mountain Blade. So there's also a lot of stealth in the game, but it's not a Splinter Cell. But it's an RPG with a noob in the beginning, and you have the chance to actually create his character. So some people were saying, "Yeah, I want to change his appearance," or so on. But for us, the appearance is the look of Henry is not so important. For us, is the characteristics of him are truly important. What makes us think that this is a real RPG experience, because you have the chance. In most of the quests, you might have encountered that. In most of the quests, you can have 3, 4, 5 different ways how to solve it.
Yep.
One can be putting out the sword and attack them, or shooting them with a bow, or try to sneak, or try to talk your way out of the situation. It's Czech Republic, so you can of course bribe everyone.
Yeah.
And we mostly we usually only tell you the most obvious ways, and the rest is up to you to find out. And the funny thing is, very early in the game, I don't want to spoil actually, but you're running away from your hometown. You run to a castle. There you are trapped, but not trapped in a bad way. Trapped because they tell you don't go anywhere and be safe here. But you want desperately to go back. And the funny thing is that we thought, because you have to flee from this castle, and there are many ways how you can flee from there. And we thought that the most obvious way for us is also the most obvious way for the people out there, but it's completely different. That we thought this way, no one will go this way. This is so abstract, no one will find out, and it's completely different. I mean, people are really. It's really
I don't want to
interesting
spoil
to
it
see
either.
right now.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you off camera how I got out of the castle.
Okay, tell me later. But I'm so ready for
But
this.
it was really cool.
Oh, man.
I loved it.
Oh, dude, I'm still in shock at the whole process. You guys went in detail with
Really
this.
good. You know what else?
Topography, a whole nine.
It was something that I didn't talk about in the questions, but the voice acting in the game is so well done as well. I know you guys had some I forgot the name of the guy, but a really famous dude that did one of the
Brian
voices.
Blessed.
Yes.
He's
The guy
like,
that punched the polar bear.
The super.
Yeah. I gotta show you
He's
that
awesome. If you don't know who Brian Blessed is, Google Brian Blessed Punch.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
is it polar bear?
YouTube it. Brian
Yeah,
Blessed
later.
Punch. Do it.
Yeah, show me that one too.
But yeah, very well done all around.
And I have another story for that, because
go ahead.
again we tried something and then people were complaining it's not so good. We had a trailer where we had I'm actually a voice actor in the English version, and you hear that my English is not the best on purpose, not on my purpose, but in the game it's used on purpose, because Bohemia by that time was the hometown of many German people. So they were the powerful minority living in Czech Republic. And in your home village, you also have Germans there. And one of them is me, and one of them is shouting, "You bad word! What the do you think you're doing?" And this was in the trailer, and then we got from USA especially, we got messages and journalist reviews "Oh, their voice acting is so bad. Oh my god, they used the worst voice actors ever in a video game." And it's then I cried a little bit.
I thought it was great.
but that was on purpose again. I mean, we wanted to show that there are different dialects and different people, and there's English dialect and British. British is a little bit more posh, so this is like a little bit more representative. Eventually, no offense for like nobility and so on. Then there are the Germans, like for example me. So I'm talking English with a German accent, and so on and so on. It just should show some different people there. But thank you very much for the voice acting. This is. Yeah,
it's one of my favorite parts of the whole thing.
I love it. I also love it.
We're going to do some voiceovers with Tobias, and we're going to punch polar bears. Got it.
Exactly. Actually, what is really interesting, I am completely used to the English one, so I don't hear how good the German or French voiceover is, which is good, of course, but I'm very used to the German one, the English one. However, what is super interesting is that a lot of people are saying that the German one is fitting way better to Kingdom Come.
Really?
Not because the quality is better, but because it's more believable. Because if it's not Czech, which we thought this is not the best idea,
right?
Then Germany is like next in line to make it even more authentic, because there are names like Marquardt from Aulitz, which is like a German dude attacking Bohemia and so on. So. Even the German one is really, really good.
Very cool.
I'm into this.
I know. I kind of want to play the German version now.
I'm sold. Done. I just want to go home and play this now. That's all I want. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So, anyways, me turn. Me turn. Can you briefly tell us, Tobias, how you entered into the gaming industry? How'd you start?
Yeah, that's my famous elevator story, how I call it. I'm very proud of it. So, I was studying 5 years of journalism, or like in Prague. I'm German, which you most likely already found out. I'm German, and I moved to Prague in 2012, somehow around about this time, to finish my master studies. And this is actually the only achievements the only achievements I'm proud of so far is my master diploma and the KCD collector's edition right below it. So both are in my victory case. I was studying journalism. I worked as a journalist here in Prague, and but on a how's it called, freelancer, as a freelancer, which is not, of course, for those who work in journalism. Freelancers can be cool, but can be also very hard.
Sure.
And for me, it was more hard than cool. And I was trying to find something else, because I was already thinking about going back to Germany and try my luck there. And then all of a sudden I met this like fat bearded guy with a little bit messy hair, and I found him, or met him in the elevator of my house, and he was like, "Oh, hi, are you living here?" It's like, yeah, hi, I'm Dan. Yeah, okay. And I went up my elevator, to my apartment, and said, "I know this guy. I don't know from where. I know this guy so much. Damn it!" So I went back again, because I saw that he left the elevator in the second floor, me in the third floor. So I looked at his name, said Daniel Vavra, who the hell is he? So I went up again to my apartment, Googled him, and then I realized I saw him a week earlier in a German game show I love to watch, and they were talking about hardcore projects and Kickstarter, and now this bandit looking like dude is called Daniel Vavra, and he is now on Kickstarter, and it was like, Hua! Why? Awesome. Because Daniel Vavra was also the the creator of Mafia 1 and Mafia 2.
Right.
Yeah.
And Mafia 1 is in the world as well. It sold pretty well, but in Czech Republic, this is like a cultural, like a holy thing. Yeah. So every gamer in Czech Republic played Mafia 1. This is like the must-have. It's like the Bible. You have to have it. It's just
It's awesome.
It's Mafia 1 is like the thing if you are a gamer in Czech Republic.
Wow, that's interesting.
And so Daniel Vavra is a known person, at least in the gaming sphere in Czech Republic. So I said, okay, he lives right below me. I need to sneak into his company. So I checked the homepage. They were searching for programmers and scripters and 3D artists. I said, oh god, shit, that's nothing I can do. So I gave up again, and then a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, I actually checked the homepage again from Warhorse Studios, and then they looked for a community manager. I said, it's not what I studied, and it's a little bit like, but well, whatever, let's try it. But it was like 10 p.m. in the evening, and I dressed myself. I printed my CV. I went down the stairs, knocked on the door of Daniel. He came out in his underpants, was looking at me like, what do you want? It's like, hi, I know who you are. I like what you do. Here's my CV. So he said, ha ha ha, but it's shitty paid. I said, I'm used to that. And yeah, that's how I got hired as a community manager.
That's so
And
cool, man.
in 2014, and a year later in 2015, I was promoted to international PR manager because they found out that I talk way too much and they wanted to get rid of me. So they said, go to events and talk to the other people, not to us. And so for all those people who want to get to the video game industry, just try it. Just do it. If whatever is written in the requirements and you think, well, but I don't, try it. Or knock at someone's doors. Maybe it will help.
Stay in an
the
elevator.
piece of advice
Stay in
that
an
I'm
elevator
taking
until you run into
for my next job
Todd
interview.
Howard or someone.
Say, we're not doing interviews anymore. We're going to go find out where you live, knock on your door, and give you the CV.
Not creepy at all. I actually skipped the creepy part because before I was actually trying to get down to his apartment, I tried to look less creepy this time. Before I went down to his apartment, I realized that he has a child and a dog, and that he's walking both several times a day. And I was trying, and we have an elevator outside the apartment, and I was which is a glass elevator, and I actually tried to look out of my window to see and estimate a time when he's going with his dog or his child. True story. I know it's very creepy.
Man.
It shows you just really wanted to know. I thought I was doing the same thing.
And then I wanted to like, hey, hi, let's do drink beer or something, and let's grab some beer. And then my plan was to give my CV there, but yeah, I went the straightforward way there.
So we previously mentioned you're the voice and the beard of Warhorse. How's it been going? how's it been working out for you, traveling the world and presenting the game, doing all this cool stuff?
Tell me it's awesome.
This sounds super awesome in the first place, and then it gets super hard once you do it. And I really mean it. I mean, I love my job. I think I'm okay in it, and I really love what I'm doing. But when you have, for example, before the release of Kingdom Come, I was on a 3-week preview tour.
Sure.
And 3-week preview tour means that you have 3 days at a place, then fly to the next place, then you had 1 day there, then you fly home eventually just to change luggage, then you fly away again. So for example, I was in Moscow for less than 24 hours to fly. Okay, my route. I went to Paris, back. From Paris I flew to Poland, from Poland to UK, from UK to Moscow, from Moscow to Munich, from Munich back to Prague. And everything like on every stage I had 1 day, maybe 2, and when I was super lucky I had 3 days. So it is cool somehow on one hand.
Sure.
On the other hand, if you hate flying like I do, then it's terrible. So headphones on max and then just pray. And but you know, when then people like my last stage was in San Francisco, LA and San Francisco, and when I was there, people, and before that I was in Milan in Italy, and they asked me, "Oh, Milan, Italy! I heard so many great things. Tell me, how is it?" And I'm always like, "Yeah, well, I can tell you how the Marriott looks like and the convention center, and they have pretty good breakfast."
Yeah.
That's it. I don't see anything of the cities. That's the sad part. Actually.
I know how exhausting that can get.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, just going back and forth, and
Yeah,
you're in
I can't
different.
imagine.
I mean, I'm horrible with geography. Are all those in at least similar time zones, or were you just totally off?
Well, in Europe it's pretty much always the same,
Right.
but USA, of course, is.
Yeah.
You are right now 6. I'm 6. Here it's 11 p.m. right now, so it's a little bit late here. So yeah, but the time zones are not the worst thing. The worst thing is the traveling and living out of your luggage. You don't even bother anymore to pack it up when you get into the hotel. You don't pack, you don't unpack your stuff. You just take the shirt, which is on the top, and when you pack it away, you push everything to the bottom again. So it's just turning inside your backpack without or luggage without touching anymore, so it's like really strange. But yeah, I mean, what's also interesting, funny, and exhausting is Gamescom, E3, these kind of stuff, because right now I have a great colleague Rick Lanisi, who's our community manager for USA, so he helps me a lot on those events. But before him, it was me alone. And this means that on Gamescom, for example, when you have a 10-hour day with maybe an hour break in the middle, you have every 30 minutes the same presentation over and over and over again for another bunch of, depends on how big your room was, but we had always big rooms like for at least 8 people. So every 30 minutes you have another 8 people coming into your room. Wow. And you do the presentation. And the trick is, I mean, you already see that I talk a lot and I enjoy it. But the trick is always like this: hey, let's have a party together, and now let's play Kingdom Come, best game ever. And you need to have the same attitude and fun and motivation in the first presentation and in the last as well. And it can get tricky, not only for you that you get tired or so, but what happened to me once, well, judge yourself. I was at the event in Anaheim. I had a journalist. It was one-on-one talks, so it was only him and me, and it was a later presentation. And of course, again, I put all my enthusiasm and my Toby charm and everything. And he was like watching while I'm playing, and while I was talking, he was like always like falling asleep next to me. And this was like the first time this ever happened to me, and the first time I began to. Shit, what should I do now? Then sometimes some words in my presentation I just shouted them like horse, and then he was like, oh yes, and then he was there again. But then there was a point where I just said, well, this is not good for him. It's not good for me. I will take I will take a break, and usually it took 30 minutes. After 15 minutes, I told him, okay, and that's it. And he said, oh yeah, great game. It's like,
I love
nice.
It.
See you later, man.
Oh, dude. And how is the team feeling with the overall reception from the press, the backers, and the fans? Like, what's just the atmosphere going on over there?
It's pretty much what we expected. I mean, I hoped for, let's say, Metacritic score, I hoped for 75 and better. We have, right now, I think, 76. So, just made it. But, yeah, this is, of course, the good thing the thing I'm very proud of, me as a PR guy, is that the journalists who are reviewing Kingdom Come, usually they say, and with usually I mean like 90% or so, 9 out of 10, they say, great game, great vision, interesting concepts, and so on, but very buggy. So some can look through that and give us a good review, and they say, okay, they will most likely fix it. That's what we're doing right now. Right. Some cannot look through it and say, that's a mess, I will not play it, and they give us a bad review. But so far, I think I couldn't find any. Maybe there's someone out there, but no one actually said this vision, the concept, failed. That what they imagined on Kickstarter, what they said, or what they imagined could be a good game, is not a good game in the end. Because realism is not fun, because, I don't know, sword fighting is not fun, or something is uncool.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm very happy that the vision we had and transferred into a video game get very good reception.
That's the best part.
This is what I'm really proud, and that's actually really important. I don't care for the bugs. I mean, of course I care for the bugs. It's our mistake, and we have to blame ourselves. Of course, it would be way better if there would be no bugs. Then it would be eventually not 75, but maybe 80 or 85 or so. Of course, that would be better for everyone. And I don't want to excuse anything. But then again, it's the first game. 120 people, 100 never did a game. That's should not be an excuse, but you know what I mean. So for us, the most important thing is step one.
That's the point, yeah.
Vision is correct, and people understand it. Step 2, polish it.
Yeah.
I think you guys are doing so far so good,
man.
This is awesome.
Bugs can be fixed, but the game and vision, once that's out there, you can't really change it, and that's what you guys nailed, which is fantastic, and that's why I love it.
They hit the nail on the head, like everything. I'm in shock. I'm like, whoa. Well then, gotta play Kingdom Come.
Let's change gears real quick.
Dialogues are very important in the game, so this would be something where people say, too much talking, but so far, you know what's super cool actually? I mean, we from our perspective, we have something about 100 quests or so in the game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It depends on how you count them, if activities are quests and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say something in between 80 and 100. And what I'm also very happy of is that I several times read in some articles that people say, and even not only journalists but also people out there said that they don't have the feeling that they ever did something twice. What I mean is that we should not have any repetitive quests. Of course, there's some fetch quests here and there, but this is gone, and then you don't see it for a very long time, if ever. And we try to make sure that all the quests are unique. There's no procedural generated stuff, so all of them are handwritten, picked characters, picked faces, voices, tones. There's a very famous quest right now. Obviously, people enjoy it very much, where you get drunk with a priest. And so far, this is like what people are completely crazy about. If you get to this point, you will either like it or love it. But I like it so far, and that's actually very cool that people appreciate the thing. And also, they said that, because I was mentioning it, a lot of talking and so on, that they actually stand still for a while and listen to what the people have to say, because they are believing the setting, they're believing the atmosphere, and they're actually interested in what they have to say. So of course can be some idle chit chat, something what they're talking about, but when you are at the market, in the very first village you are in, and you get down to the village for the first time, and there's the charcoal burner, and then all of a sudden they are arguing about the kings and who's the right one, and so on, and it just fits into the environment, into all the topics they are talking about. It's not some, of course, it's funny, the dialogue with the arrow to the knee, but we try to make it fit to the overall setting, so that when you follow the main quest, for example, you push most of the historical events, kind of. If you go to the side quests, you see the kind of everyday's life, medieval touch here and there. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
It's
I'm so excited.
I agree with you. I mean, there's so many times I've played other games where I catch myself like, oh, I just want to get to the next thing and skip cutscenes. In this case, though, I sit back. I'm like, oh, sweet. What are they going to say now? And I sit back and listen to it. And it's for that reason you said that the whole setting is so realistic and it fits so nicely that I actually feel so immersed in the world every time I'm playing. Like, every quest I do is and it's always been something different. It feels unique.
That's a big deal.
I'm enamored with it.
Yeah, no, he really hasn't stopped talking about it. You guys don't even understand. But
thank you very much. This really means a lot to us. Really, most of the QA guys right now are watching live streams of different Let's Players and so on, and not only to see what they think, of course, about the game. That's reason one. But the reason two is, now that we have all of a sudden 100,000s of testers, kind of. Right. They are trying to see bugs we eventually didn't even see in the game. So right now they're studying live streams of us. So for all out there who are live streaming, go for it.
They're watching.
And thank you very much for bug fixing, helping to bug fix, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
The bugs are something we will deal with.
I'm sure they'll get fixed eventually. So to switch gears a little bit, let's talk about you personally. Are there any games or movies, TV shows, anything that you're looking forward to coming out this year?
The man behind the beard. Tell us all.
Oh wow, you got me. I don't know how popular this game is in USA. It's called Anno. Does it tell you anything? Anno 1800.
Oh, I have heard of it.
I think I've heard of it.
I play weird games, and people.
Yes.
I love NHL, and I'm the only one in the studio who's playing sports games, so I'm playing NHL all the time. My favorite game in the last 5 years, 10 years maybe, is XCOM 2. I'm a huge
awesome game.
This kind of turn-based strategy games is definitely something for me. And I'm looking forward to Anno ANNO. It's like a colonizing thing. There's a lot of economics. You have like this different islands, and you have to get a production line. You have to, I don't know. There were a lot of games already of this type out there or released, and you have to, I don't know, farm, flowers on this island, and then get the production and bring it to the other island, because there you have whale fat and
Yeah.
there you produce with flowers and whale fat.
That sounds like
produce
Civilization almost.
perfume,
It's kinda like
something like this,
Civilization
but a little
SimCity.
bit more focused on the production chain
Yeah.
and production chain and optimizing the perfect routes. So I'm more this kind of football. I like football simulation, who also no one else likes
Football
in the
simulator.
studio.
That's a good.
So yeah, I'm this kind of guy, and what I'm looking forward to is like Anno definitely, Hunt Showdown from our friends from Crytek looks very
Oh,
interesting.
sweet. Yeah, that game looks amazing too.
I'm not a zombie fan guy, but yeah, well, it definitely looks interesting to me. And Red Dead Redemption, but that's an easy answer.
You guys are separated at birth. I think you guys are brothers.
I think we should hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this answer is too easy, so I had to
Yeah,
think
sure.
about something more. I don't know. Yeah, let's stick to those one I told you so far.
It's good answers. I like them all around.
What do you enjoy the most about PC gaming?
That's a good question, because for many years I was console player only. I started to play PCs actually while I started to work at Warhol Studios. So what I like most about it, that's a very tricky question. Of course, you can, if you have the right coin, you can play far more with the hardware of your PC. So if you get a good partner like Origin PC or someone, then you can stack up your gear and create like a atomic rocket launcher or something, and it will
You
play.
can.
Maybe even Kingdom Come on ultra settings. But I talked to our programmer, lead programmer today. He said the ultra settings on KCD was not made for actual hardware, but for eventual future hardware. So
Hey, I
Origin
run it in ultra
PC
settings.
challenge
All the
challenge
time.
accepted. I hope. Challenge accepted. I hope. And yeah, what I like most, and then I think it's easier to be connected with other people. So the
That's
multiplayer thing is a lot easier on
For sure.
on PC than not saying that it's bad or worse on the consoles, but it's just easier and more convenient on the PC. So I think it's power and connection. That's what I like most on PC gaming.
I like it.
Awesome. Great answer.
I like
Well,
it.
Tobias, thank you so much. We'll let you get some rest. I know much needed.
It's late.
We really appreciate you coming on the show. We absolutely love the game. Thank you for
very
talking to
much.
us about it. If you want to tell people where to find you on Twitter, where to find Warhorse on Twitter, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, on Twitter and Facebook, it's at Warhorse Studios. If you like, it's written like this, Warhorse, right? But at Studios in the end. And to find me is a little bit tricky. It's at T0_8I, like Toby, but instead of the O and the B, it's an exactly. Yes, yes. There, please add me. I'm known, and that's I have the wrong job. Because I was trained to be a journalist, and now I'm at the other side of the table. I'm the PR guy,
Right.
and I'm trained to spill the beans, and that's my the hardest part on my job. I tend to spoil a lot. So if you're interested in all the secret information, find me there and let's have a chat. I
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you
right
so
back.
much.
Awesome.
I appreciate it, Toby. You have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Hope you get better soon. And thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. We'll see you.
Bye.
He's
That was
awesome, man.
That was an amazing guest.
I want to be his best friend forever.
I know. He is my best friend.
So great.
So up next is Ask Origin PC. Hopefully you guys have been asking some questions in the
I've seen him.
chat.
I've seen him.
Because now we're going to answer them. Maybe. There it is.
Producer. Yeah. Here we go.
So, first question comes from Oddly. Oddly. Let's just call you Oddly.
Oddly.
At Origin PC, I've been thinking about buying your like $600 or $500 computer. I'm not sure though. Can I have advice? We don't have a $500 or $600
Is
computer.
he thinking about the 1K?
You might be thinking about our Chronos or our Eon 15S, which are
Maybe.
entry level ones. absolutely recommend it. If you're just looking for an entry-level PC to get something started, get your hands into the Origin PC pool. It's a great way to start. Those are extremely powerful. As you guys know, we deal with the very high end, so even our entry-level stuff is extremely powerful and great for gaming. So yes, absolutely, I highly recommend you go into it. If you guys still have questions, by the way, feel free to keep asking them. We're still taking the questions now.
Let's see, what's next? At Origin PC, question for later. Kuzi, is anyone on the OPC team going to represent in Shroud of the Avatar releasing soon?
Ooh, great question. So hopefully we're going to have Richard Garriott and Star Long back on the show to promote Shroud of the Avatar. I will personally be playing it when it launches officially, have they launched officially yet? No, I don't think so. I think it's happening very soon. We might have some more stuff planned with them as well. Is anyone from Team Origin PC going to be representing them, as in maybe streaming their game? I'm not sure. I'm sure I can get some keys out there, hopefully, to some people that are interested in it. I love the game. Maybe I'll stream myself, but I'm super boring on stream unless I'm doing something like this, so we'll see.
Oh, I like that next one. I want the next one.
Go ahead.
Control Yourself? Yeah. Control Yourself 5. Okay, I have a question. What do you think about the new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer? Are you guys fans?
I haven't seen it.
Yes. I haven't
seen the trailer.
I've waited so long.
I know you
so long to answer your question. Yes.
You know what kind of a it seems like the missed opportunity now that Fox or what who bought the acquisition with Marvel and all that stuff.
Wasn't it was Fox producer? Fox?
I guess.
Fox?
Disney bought Fox maybe or something. I forgot what the
Fox bought
I forgot what the order. Disney bought Fox.
BP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bought Fox and like Marvel and all that stuff. It seems like a missed opportunity because that has potential for so many more characters they could have fit into a Kingdom Hearts game.
I'm tired
but maybe
of
Kingdom Hearts 4.
Though.
Maybe Kingdom Hearts 4. We'll see.
That's what I think. But then again,
but we're gonna be able to see Star Wars characters in it. We're gonna be able to see The Simpsons if we wanted to.
Can you imagine a Keyblade, but a lightsaber Keyblade?
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Listen, if you guys are listening, look at me. Look at me.
No, this is the camera.
No, look at me over here. Wrong one. Look at me. Lightsaber Keyblade. Make it happen. Make me happy. Make it happen.
When will you guys say the winners for the PC? For the Lyric giveaway, by the way, sign up if you haven't already. The Chronos giveaway is still a worldwide giveaway. vast.mx/lyricga to sign up. Links will be in chat shortly, maybe. We're going to announce the winners on March 9th because the giveaway ends on March 8th. March 9th is one of our shows, so we'll announce the winner live on stream. If you're not here on stream, we'll still email you. So, next question, please. Warhorse, Lucky 7 asks, my mind's already on Kingdom Come. I can't wait to get home and play it. Who's your favorite esports player?
Oh, I have so many.
Name one, because I can't.
Well, I really dig Snacks. I really dig... Dang, why is it eluding me right now? Hold on, come back to me. Snacks is one of them. I used to follow a lot of CSGO.
Who's the guy from Cloud9 that was on the Joe Rogan podcast? Was it No One? I think it was No One.
I'm not sure. I don't listen to that podcast. I'm not sure.
I listen to it religiously.
That's also something
I don't really follow
esports
all that much. Yeah, I don't really follow esports all that much, so it's hard for me to say. But the guys I do know, that's one of them for sure that I'm definitely down with because he did a great job in that interview.
Yeah.
Next question. That's so weird.
Let's see.
RWC, what do y'all think of the current state of Overwatch right now? I think you play more than I do.
I used to be really big into this game, okay? Like, I wanted to go pro. That's how big I was into Overwatch. And I just felt like they couldn't deliver. They just kept changing things to appease certain people, appease certain masses, and then in the end, it just ended up disrupting the game in general. The ranking system, I thought, was such a big disappointment, in my opinion. I have no idea what goes into the ranking system or how you build that thing or what keeps that running. But it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I just don't play it
From last
now.
I played it, I mean, I rarely stick to multiplayer games for a very long time. So I haven't played Overwatch in a bit, but from what I've seen, all the updates and everything that they're doing a lot to keep the community involved, which is cool. I'm not too sure what the balancing and stuff is like now. I saw some people complaining about those issues.
I'm just wondering if it's too little too late.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's too little too late.
I think the game's still going to rock it on for some time.
For sure.
And last question, what is the best part of being in the Origin PC family? Fantastic question. Yeah, right here. We got the answer right here.
For life.
There's I mean, there's so many different ways to be a part of the Origin PC family. You know, being a customer of ours makes you part of the Origin PC family. Being a sponsored streamer, just being part of the community and being involved in the community. Either way, all those things involved. I think the best part of being in the Origin PC family is how accepting and close that we are. We don't judge anybody. We're all here for each other. We all help each other with gaming questions and PC related questions and tech issues. Even if you can ask people in our Discord channel, especially who aren't necessarily Origin PC customers, but just have questions about their PC. We would never be like, oh man, you don't own an Origin PC, get away from here. No, we're all PC gamers, and we know what it's like to either be a do-it-yourself guy or to have bought a system and maybe upgraded it or done whatever it is. So we're always happy to help. We're just very deeply involved in the gaming community.
We love y'all.
And we love everybody. Yeah, we're just gamers, man. We're just like you guys. One big
hug fist all
We're just
the
like you guys, but except we also make awesome gaming PCs. Yes. But really, when it comes down to it, we're just gamers just like everyone else. So I think that's the best key part of being part of the Origin PC family.
I agree. Well said, man. Dang, 10 points for that.
Bam.
Give this man a trophy.
Sweet, thanks. I think that worked out well.
I think it did.
Okay, up next, Post of the Week. Let's see who the winner is. So, we received several interesting concepts. But the last Post of the Week topic was, you're locked in a room that is part of a heavily guarded bunker. How would you escape the room and bunker? Before we announce the winner, let me say what the prize is going to be.
Ooh.
We're going to give away a copy of, guess what? Guess what?
What is it? What is it?
Oh, it looks like the show.
Brothers in Christ,
Gonna give away Kingdom Come Deliverance. The fantastic game that we've been talking non-stop about throughout this entire episode. We're going to give away a copy to one lucky winner. That winner is... I don't have it on the script, so I'm going to see it on screen. Dad at PaleKid86, who wrote the Metal Gear Survive approach. I'll sit on a shelf for months and then slap a $15 price tag on my chest. Eventually, a guard comes by to replace me with Death Stranding. He throws me in the garbage, and I'm taken to freedom.
I like how you went into that, man.
Origin PC Live. PaleKid86, a.k.a. Dan, congratulations. Please reach out to us on your platform of choice so we can give you your copy of Kingdom Come Deliverance on PC.
Am I the only one
very
that saw
fantastic game. Well, no,
I saw it. Like, I had the whole thing.
It fits so well with the whole scenario because of the is Dan in chat? Yeah, with the bunker and the whole thing with Metal Gear. It was perfect. It was perfect. You did a good job.
You did.
You did a good job. Erica, what's next week's Post of the Week topic?
You guys ready? I think you're ready. Next week's topic is, you've been recruited to race on an alien planet. In this race, you get points for stylish maneuvers. What would you race with, and what maneuvers would you
Let me read this one again, because I want to think of it. So you've been recruited to race on an alien planet. In this race, you get points for stylish maneuvers. What would you race with, and what maneuvers would you do? Oh.
Why does this gives me the biggest Star Wars vibes?
Yeah, pod racing.
Pod racing, like that is exactly what I see when this question is asked. But examples include a tricked out hoverboard pulling off 180s, a flying transformer doing mid-air transformations and tricks, or a rocket-powered motorcycle driving on the sides of buildings. So make sure you use the hashtag OriginPCLive with your response, and we'll be picking the best post of the week for the next episode.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for watching this week's episode of Origin PC Live. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for Tobias for coming out and joining us. That was an awesome interview.
So cool.
This has been one of the longer episodes that we've had, and it's been fantastic.
I
know, it's been awesome because it was such a great guest segment.
You guys rock my socks.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do not forget to tune in next week. Next week we're going to have another game developer, the community manager for My Time at Portia.
Oh.
Miss Laura, I forget her last name, but I'll find out for you.
I'm terrible.
But it's going to be awesome to have her on. We're very, very excited. My Time at Portia, another awesome title you guys should check out. Think Breath of the Wild meets Stardew Valley with awesome combat, cool 3D effects, a beautiful cartoon world. Absolutely love it. Instead of owning a farm in this one, you own a workshop. Which
I can dig that.
I guess we'll talk about later.
I can dig it.
It's very, very cool. Check out the game before you hear the interview next week, but tune in. Same Origin time, same Origin channel, 4 p.m. EST. Take care of yourselves. We love you guys. Have a fantastic weekend.
Wakanda forever.
Have a good one, friends. And